Travels. I'm Torin. Cheers to gear. So as you can see today, I have a number of items on the counter, and I'm really excited about it all. This has been a project that's been months in the making, and not surprising, and I'll explain once we get into it. But I'm excited to finally have everything here ready to go and ready to start completing this project. So I've been in the process of gathering components for a custom rifle build. The story sort of started with a want and a need to build a lightweight mountain rifle. And the journey started with looking at some of the discontinued Remington 700 titaniums. I did find one, and I was going to make the purchase, but as I started diving deeper into it, I realized that probably the only component of that factory rifle that I was going to keep was the titanium action itself. And so the price of that gun did not justify spending that amount on a factory Remington 700 titanium action. So that sort of led me down the custom build path. I decided to go with a custom titanium action or an aftermarket titanium action based on the Remington 700 footprint. And from there, it sort of spiraled into this big custom rifle build. As you may or may not be aware, lead times right now on anything gun related are pretty insane, and even things that aren't gun related really. But fortunately, I was able to get all of these components in just a few short months, and everything is ready. And it's going to be shipped off here to the gunsmith shortly to be finished. The barrel is going to be threaded, and then everything assembled and ready to shoot in time for fall season. So I'm really excited about that. What I wanted to do before I send it off to the gunsmith, though, is to go over each component individually, separately, before it becomes a finished product of a finished rifle. And so what I'm going to go do is through piece by piece and do sort of a first impressions review, fit, function, weight, why I chose this particular component for this build. And then once it's all together and I have the rifle back, I will follow up with sort of a whole rifle review that highlights the entire build, and then the sighting and process, range time, and then I'll go through back with all the components after the fact to sort of give a follow-up review on my opinions of them all after I've had some actual shooting experience with them as all a part of the rifle. I want to talk a little bit about the trigger that I chose for the rifle build that I'm working on here. I ended up going with a TriggerTech Special. TriggerTech is known for quality triggers, and they make drop-in triggers for a number of rifle actions. Well known for making Remington 700 compatible drop-in trigger. The Special is sort of the midline of the TriggerTech lineup. There's the primary, which is below it. They have a two-stage trigger above it, and then they have what they call their Diamond series, which is more tailored to like competition and match shooters. So I went with the Special. It's sort of right in the middle. It has the features that I'm looking for, and I think going to be the perfect hunting trigger. First of all, it's available in left or right hand safety. It's got a 2-position stafe. It's offered in a number of lever options as well. You can get curved or you can get straight. One option that you can get with the curved is a smooth lever surface. You may be used to having little ridges on the trigger surface. You can get that in the curved lever or the straight lever, but I went with the smooth surface curve just because I like the feel of that, and getting rid of those ridges and really feel the whole thing. The trigger itself is adjustable from 1 to 3.5 pounds. It's adjustable externally, so you don't have to take apart the gun to do so. You can access the set screw right here in front of the lever. You can access that even when it's installed on your rifle. So you can just turn your rifle over, and as long as you have a hex wrench that can get in there underneath the trigger guard on your bottom metal, you can adjust that. It's adjustable in about 1 ounce increments, so you can really fine tune your trigger pull there. It's what they call their frictionless trigger, and they say that helps create a very clean and smooth break every time with very, very little travel. I think their average travel that they've tested on trigger pull is like just a touch over 1/100th of an inch. It should pop right in, as I said, compatible with Remington 700 triggers, although they do make some aftermarket triggers for Weatherbees, Remington Model 7s, I believe, and a handful of others when you're talking about long rifles. It does come with the pins to attach it to your action. And then the last thing I want to just cover, and this was something that I was interested in as I was going through the process of planning out the components before purchasing, was the weight. So I threw the trigger itself, not including the pins, is 1.9 ounces. So pretty lightweight little package. And I'm excited to get it all installed and start shooting with it. That's the TriggerTech Special from TriggerTech. As always, cheers to gear.